constantly feel like you are losing at the game of life? Do you feel like life is happening for other people? Other people are always catching the big breaks. You see other people and you feel like they are living this fairy tale life. Why does this not happen for you? When is your train, your bus, whatever it is, going to come in? When is it going to be your moment? If you're tired of watching everybody have their moment, having that main character energy, and waiting for your time to shine, what if I were to tell you it's because you keep your standards so low that you accept virtually everything and anything from people when you are worth so much more? To have main character energy, to be the leading role in your own life, stay tuned because we're going to fix it. Starting today, your luck's gonna change. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Danielle and this is the Feminal Society. Every Sunday we have an episode of the Feminal Society and we are basically on a leveling up journey, trying to become high value, high maintenance, main character energy women and basically glowing up internally, externally, and becoming that woman, that person that we were always meant to be, but somehow or another we have lost our way. So today we are going to talk about low standards. Why are your standards so dang low, and why do you keep allowing them to remain that way? I will say this is going to be a hard pill to swallow. It's going to be a hard message to receive, but it is an important message, and this is also a part of that journey that we have been on since the beginning of this series. And these are going to be some hard truths, and it's going to be a hard pill to swallow, but we're going to identify the issues, identify where we have lost the standards that we should hold up for ourselves, and how to fix the problem. It's fixable. You can change your life around. You just have to learn how to identify the issues and how to rectify them. Before we actually get into the video, let's go ahead and have a word from today's sponsor. All right, before we jump into our video, we are going to thank Green Chef for sponsoring this portion of the video. If you guys have never had Green Chef, you are missing out. Green Chef is a USDA certified organic company, and they have dishes for a variety of lifestyles: keto, paleo, plant-powered, and those who simply just want a little more balance. I opted for the keto box, and I have no regrets. I've had them for many months, and I absolutely love them. I promise, guys, you will too. Green Chef lets you choose from a wide array of plans for every lifestyle. Recipes are easy to follow with step-by-step instructions, chef tips, and photos to guide you along. Seriously, it's like, look at the picture, read the instructions. So simple. It's basically just pulling everything out of this little bag that they supply you with, doing a couple chops, and like tossing stuff in a pan. It's super simple, and it is going to be the best meal you have had, I promise. Green Chef's expert chefs curate every recipe with over 30 meal choices every week, and with the flexibility to switch plans, you'll never sacrifice taste for nutrition. And I absolutely love that. I try to mimic my everyday diet to match the Green Chef plans. If you see, they include a huge variety of fresh veggies and a good, clean source of protein, and I really enjoy that. Green Chef has a meal for every lifestyle: keto, paleo, plant-powered, and even those who just want a delicious but balanced meal. And I highly, highly recommend them. They are so, so, so good. Green Chef is the most sustainable meal kit, offsetting 100% of plastic use in every box and 100% of their carbon footprint and emission, which is awesome, and that's super important, guys. If you guys wanted to try Green Chef for yourself, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link down below. You can go to greenchef.us and use code DDiaries125 to get $125 off of your box, plus free shipping on your first box. So definitely check them out. It is so good. This soup hit the spot. I don't know if you guys can tell with my voice, I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, and it was so warm and cozy. And I've never really had a like Mediterranean meal before, but when we mixed all these like flavors together, it was like boom. It was so good. You can tell I'm a little congested here, but oh my God, it hit the spot. It hit different. So check out Green Chef. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video, and let's jump into the rest. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning into that little portion of the video. I know I was honestly so blessed to actually have them want to sponsor today's video because it is such a new series. So thank you guys so much over at Green Chef for hanging out with us over here at the Feminal Society. And let's get into low standards. Girl, why are your standards so low? You never heard the meme, keep your standards as high as your heels. You really need to do that. This is where the issue is. We could fix the way we dress, we could fix the way we talk, we can work on our mental health, but if you keep having low standards, you're never going to excel. You're never going to level up. You're never going to be the very best version of yourself because you keep allowing people to feed you crap and you keep eating it with a smile on your face. And that stops today. Today, we are no longer going to allow people to treat us any kind of way and chalk it up to that's just how they are. So I have some notes. You guys know I sit down and I write some notes. I have 10 red flags. Red flags, you know that means going around TikTok, all the red flags. These are 10 red flags that your standards are so low. And if you have more than one of these, honey, we gotta talk. We've addressed so many different things with how we allow people to treat us, who the people are in our lives that maybe, you know, family could be toxic, coworkers, all little reasons to kind of, you know, identify, limit the exposure. Remember, we've went over this. But sometimes I feel like you guys aren't hearing me. You're not really hearing me. Today you need to hear me. Listen to me. Listen to these red flags because you're going to constantly keep losing at the game of life if you don't accept better, not only from yourself, but to others. People are only going to treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. It's a fact. If somebody knows, it's like kids. You know how they say you give them an inch and they walk all over you, or you give them an inch and they take a mile or whatever, you give them a foot and they take a mile. People will do that. That doesn't stop when we're children. They will keep trying to play you, okay? And if you keep allowing people to play you, you are going to be played. Period. There's no way to get around this. Whether it's your brother, whether it's your sister, whether it's your mother, whether it's your cousin, your coworker, your boss, your priest, your pastor, whoever it is, whether it's the lady at the grocery store, do not accept it. Today we're going to learn how to see these red flags, to understand that they are a red flag, and to address them. Today we're not waking up and choosing violence. Don't take this for like you're gonna fix the fight and I'm telling you to cuss somebody out. Today you're going to wake up and you're going to choose you over anybody else. You are the prize. Nobody else is. Okay, so you're going to pick you and you're going to keep picking you. This might even pertain to some of your adult children. Remember, I just said adult. This isn't going to be your 15-year-old daughter who's going through puberty and she thinks everybody's against her. We take that with stride. We know how they are. But if you got kids in their 30s and 40s and think they're going to walk all over you, honey, you're going to have to draw some boundaries because guess what? You deserve respect and you need to command it. Here we go. Number 1, the first red flag. You accept garbage responses from people. Say that you've had a party and you've invited them and then last minute comes and they don't show. And you're like, hey, you know, you RSVP'd, I already paid for your plate. And you don't come. Oh, well, you know, something came up. Oh, okay, or you don't even say anything. You're just like, well, I paid for that plate. They said they were going to come and they didn't come. And they don't even give you a response, but you take the silence. That is a red flag. Do not accept that from anybody. If they matter that much into your life and they are somebody that you want to have in your life, if there is something that they're doing or they're saying, they deserve to address you properly, respectfully, and you deserve a response, okay? It may not be the response that you want to hear, but a response nonetheless. The fact that they even give you a garbage, random, you know, empty response, or they don't respond to you at all and you accept it, that's a problem and that's a red flag. You accept being treated poorly. If you notice that certain people in your life are treating friends on their block better than they're treating you, that's a problem. If you notice people in your life are giving more respect and courtesy to people at the grocery store, that's a problem. These people in your life, whether they are family, friends, co-workers, if they are treating complete strangers with more respect and better than they are treating you, that's a red flag. You don't stand up for yourself. If somebody is a bully or a narcissist or somebody who likes to run their mouth and you just don't say anything and you're just like, oh, well, okay, because you think in your head you're being the bigger person. Well, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let him talk to me like that. I just don't want to start anything. I'm just gonna walk away. No, I'm not telling you to fight. I'm not telling you to go at it, but you need to stop them. Right, nip that bud right. Excuse me. I'm not the one. You do not talk to me. Don't raise your voice. Don't get loud. Don't crease. You just say, excuse me, you know what? I'm going to need you to watch your tone. I am not the one to be talked to like this. If you want to go ahead and take a minute, I understand that you're frustrated. You got some problems going on, but you can come back to me and address me properly because you will respect me. That's it. Don't raise your voice. Don't get crazy. Don't go into a back and forth argument. But no, not today. Your kids know. When they start trying to raise their tone and you look at them, they know. All right. You give them that look, they know. My dog knows. You do not allow, if you know that your own animals won't treat you, you're getting treated better than by your pet, than people in your life that should know better, that's a problem. That's a red flag. And if you keep accepting it, it's honestly turning into your own fault. Because they're only going to treat you the way you allow them to treat you. If you make excuses for their behavior, well, you know, that's how they are. You know, what do you want me to do? That's just how they are. That's what they do. I don't know. You know how they are. And what are we going to do? You know, that's just how they've always been. Okay. That's good for them. But the buck stops here. That's not good for me. They can be that way, but they're not going to be that way with me. Not anymore. Will this change of perspective that you are now going to have with this, will this leveling up by you going from accepting your taking in those low standards and now expecting having a higher standard for yourself for how people treat you? Is this going to be alarming? Is this going to come off as like, I don't know what her problem is? Yeah, it is. You're initially going to be sought at as the bully, or you're going to be the aggressor. But here's the thing. They're going to treat you that way because you've been a rug for your whole relationship with these people. But once they understand that they are not going to treat you any kind of way, that they are going to show you respect, you're not going to tolerate their garbage, they're going to either ship up or ship out. That's it. Because you know what? You don't need these people in your life. Why would you want them? Like, is it that important to you to have a large crowd, or do you only need the realest, truest, best people supporting you? Family is everything. Family over everything. No, absolutely not. Family, in an idealistic world, yeah, family is everything. Family over everything. But I'm going to be honest with you. Just because people have a blood relation to you doesn't mean they're going to treat you well. Doesn't mean they're going to be by your side. Doesn't mean they're always going to be in your corner. I'm going to tell you something that took me a long time to learn. Some of your biggest haters, some of the most toxic people, some of the people who have treated you the worst in your entire life are those that are related to you. For me, the truest form of family are not only, my children, but also the people that I choose to have in my life. Where friendships become as almost tighter, I have a tighter bond than family, because they don't get a hall pass. I have family members who think that they're going to talk to me any kind of way, that we should accept them, and, oh, well, that's just how they are, or, everybody makes excuses for what they do, or it's always like, oh, well, poor her, or, this and that, and no, That may have sounded good, but I'm not going to sit here and allow them to treat me any kind of way or to mess up my wave in life, because that's what they think that we're owed to them, and because they're family, I should just tolerate it. I have my children, I have my husband. Okay, I have my parents, I have a sister, I have the people who are close to me. But because you are a blood relation to me does not give you a hall pass to treat me like garbage, and I'm not going to lower my standards because we share a lineage. Absolutely not. You could go to the back of the bus with everybody else because I don't need you on my team either. Now, this may sound like I'm an aggressor, but it's also you want to be surrounded by positive people, by people who want to see you do your best. Why keep letting people feed you crap and then you eat it with a smile on your face? Because you look like the fool, not them. You're the fool in the situation, and that's why you keep losing, because your standards are so low. Let's raise them up. For some reason, when your standards are so low, when I've dealt with this myself, I didn't think I was worthy. I felt like I didn't want them to be mad at me. I wanted this big family. I wanted all of these friends. I wanted my coworkers to like me. I didn't want to be problematic, and I didn't want to be the pot stirrer. I just wanted to be, I just wanted everybody to like me. And I wanted to be liked, and I wanted everybody to love me. And I had this issue with just accepting whatever they wanted to give me and doing it with a smile on my face. You're worth so much more than you will ever think. You are an incredible person. You are a blessing. You are blessed to be a blessing. So there's somebody in this world that is so happy to have you in it. Me, for example, I'm so blessed to have you here with me today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day, taking time away from your job, your children, your home, your family, whatever it is, to sit here and be with me today. I feel so blessed for you. And everybody should have that same feeling with you, because you truly are a blessing. Stop thinking you're not worthy of just common courtesy and respect and acknowledgement. Stop allowing people to treat you any kind of way. It is not acceptable, because the more people treat you like garbage, the more you'll feel like garbage, and the more you'll think you truly are garbage. And it is my mission with this series to let you know you are worth so much more than that. And whatever they're trying to treat you, however way they're trying to treat you, shows more about them than it does about you. I keep saying that, and I truly hope you guys see this. If you sit back and you think about the biggest jerk in your life, and you hear how they talk and how they, they're always negative and they're always running their mouth, and the way they treat their families and the way they treat others, and you're just like, God, you're awful. You are an awful person. Like, it's going to show that they are miserable. There's something else in here and in here that's going on with them, that they are just shoveling all this garbage out and just spewing negativity, because they just are filled with it so much within themselves that it's just vomiting out of them, out of their soul, out of their mouth, out of their vibrations. They're just ugly inside and out. And it's nothing to do with you. It's all about them. So don't let them displace their issues onto you. You are worth more than you will ever know. People with low standards don't invest in themselves. They don't get up and they don't, this is another thing where I mentioned a couple weeks ago, maybe it was last week, invest in your appearance. Okay, when someone sees you and you are just wearing, pajamas all the time, and you're sloppy, you're messy, there's, you still got the mascara on from 2 days ago, your hair's all sloppy, and you just look a mess. People are going to think that you don't give a crap about yourself, and they're going to treat you in that manner. This is why I say invest into your appearance. Change out of the pajamas. I'm not telling you to wear a ball gown, but I'm telling you just to, change out. Maybe if you go from pajamas to leggings, whatever the higher version of yourself is in your daily routine, do that. Whether it's going from pajamas to leggings to jeans, or jeans to dress slacks, whatever it is, do that. Because I'm going to tell you what, you are going to be thoroughly surprised at how much better you feel about yourself and the outward response that you're going to get from society. And I know people are going to be like, I don't care what people think. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Okay? There's nobody out here who doesn't care what you think, what other people think. Yes, you do. Okay? I mean, you could try to act like you have this whole mantra down, but it's not true. Okay? For example, I was reading with Adele. Adele just came out and the Queen is back. I love her so much. And People came at her for losing her weight. Okay, she sold out, she did this, she did that. I didn't care whatever it was, because she's just as talented, as she is lighter than she was heavier. I think she's beautiful either way. So I never really, took it to mind. And people were like, well, if she doesn't, she shouldn't care. She does care, because she even came out and said it. Like, I'm happy with how I looked, but man, it really hurt my feelings when everybody was talking about me. When everybody was saying, it's Adele. Adele is an icon. And it hurt her feelings when she kept hearing these people bash her for losing weight. Nobody is immune to the response of hearing people say something awful about them, or treating them any kind of way, and it's gonna hurt your feelings. It is what it is. It's just the way it is. Okay, so invest in yourself. Be a little bit more presentable. And if you invest and you hire your standard for taking care of yourself, they're gonna treat you different. Because what these people are thinking is, she don't care. She's a freaking slob. Give a crap about her. They don't think you're worthy because they think you're a slob. They think you're just... I'm not saying these are good people, okay? Obviously, if they're treating you like crap, they're not good people. But, that's how they perceive you. When you have lower standards, you don't take care of yourself. And if you don't take care of yourself, you don't care about yourself, so why should they care about you? See what I'm saying? It's all rolls in together. You hold on to dead-end relationships. Whether this is a long-term relationship that is going nowhere, but you're comfortable and you're like, hey, we've been together for 10 years and I'm just waiting on getting engaged and he's not buying me my ring, should I leave? If you got a question if you should leave, then you should leave. Okay, if you've had a friend that they're my best friend, we've been friends since we were little, but they're crappy friends, why do you care? Don't hold on to a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship or a job, because you've been with them for so long. Things come to an end. Things have seasons end, people change. Whether that's a career, whether that's a friendship, whether that's a relationship. If it's not serving you, if it's not making you happy, if it's not a two-way street and they are not treating you to a higher standard, why keep them in your life? Because you have so many years. Obviously, those years of being together are not holding you to a higher standard with them, so why should you hold them to a higher standard? Stop allowing people to treat you like garbage because you've been friends with them since you were 10, or because you've been together since high school, or because you started this job right out of college and they were really good to you, but you're not growing and you're miserable and you hate your job. Stop giving people more of you than they deserve. Time is precious. This is a short life we're living, and live it to the utmost benefit and surround yourself with people and a job or a relationship that is serving your soul, serving your spirit, and serving your life. Don't accept garbage and get out of these dead-end relationships, whatever course it is. You live a mundane life. This is the people who are just going through life. You wake up, I wake up, I make my coffee, I take my morning shower, I don't put on any makeup, I put my hair in a low bun, I put on, my work scrubs, I go to work, I take care of my patients, I come home, I put on a lean cuisine meal, my husband comes home, I make him a hungry man dinner, we watch TV together, we go to bed. My husband doesn't come home, I clean the house and I get dressed and my husband doesn't notice, he doesn't take me out. You just are going through life and you're accepting mediocrity and this mundane, repetitive stuff because you think that's where you're supposed to be in life. I feel like this is taught to us that, all right, well, you're going to grow up and you're going to get married and you're going to go to work and you're going to have kids and you're going to work and you're going to hate your job, but that's okay. But you're going to go to work from 9 to 5 and you come home, you get the kids, you do homework, you make dinner, and you go to bed and you yell at your kids a little bit. You might have Wednesdays where it's like adult time for you and your husband or whatever, and you like mark it on the calendar. There's no spontaneity, and your husband doesn't even notice when you comb your hair or change an outfit or something, and you feel completely invisible, and he's just leaves his food on the table, and you're like his maid, you're the kid's maid, you're the dog's maid, and you're just sitting here, just life is just, and you're just sitting here accepting crap, feeling like crap, just waiting to go to bed so you can get up tomorrow and do it all over again. Now, I can't say that I have lived not as mundane as the example I just gave. That was an extreme case. I hope no one's living a life like this. But I did fall into the daily patterns of a few years ago within my own marriage, within my own motherhood journey, and I felt invisible. I felt unseen, and I was severely depressed. I gained a lot of weight, and I just felt ugly. I felt not cherished. I felt sad. And it wasn't Leo's fault. It was me. I lost me. But if you guys cannot meet halfway and see that there's an issue, then there's a bigger problem. And that's something that you're going to have to look at, because not only for your husband, but it's also for your children. You don't want your children to just treat you as a maid or as a chauffeur or as an ATM. You want them to value you because you are their mother, but you're also you, and you are a person, and you're a great person, and you have so many special things about you that your kids should know. They should know you beyond mom. They should know you as your individuality, and they would probably really like that person if you introduced them to them. You know, maybe your spouse forgot that you were Sally, and they forgot how fun Sally was and how, you know, sassy she can be and all the little tricks and whatever, you know. But the thing is remember who you were and bring her back. And lastly, you're very envious of others. You know, you'll see so-and-so on Instagram, and you'll, you know, be like, oh my God, you know, she lost all that weight. She had a tummy tuck, or I think she had weight loss surgery, and I could lose all that weight too if I did that. And, you know, or you'll see, you know, your cousin on Facebook, and they just bought a big fancy house, and you're like, oh yeah, I would have had that house too if I would have had my parents helping me out. Like, you are so empty inside that you're so jealous of everybody else's happiness. And there's no reason that you couldn't have a little bit of that of yourself. But because you don't higher your standards and start working and doing these things, investing in your weight loss, saving some money, working harder, you know, so you could have a bigger home or a nicer home, or maybe you want a newer car, and, you know, you're like, hey, you know what, my credit's bad. All right, start fixing your credit. There is always something you can do to improve your situation. It is not always a lose-lose situation. You can do it. It's just sitting back and watching others doing it, and instead of improving your own situation, you're just sitting here like being so mad and ugly and envious of everybody else that all you're attracting is more ugliness in your own life. The law of attraction is very real, my friends. You put out what you get in, you get what you put out. So if you're a very envious, ugly, bitter person, that's all you're going to keep getting back in your life. But if you're happy and you work hard and you know that your time is coming, and you just say, hey, you know what, I am successful, I am abundant, I am wealthy, I am healthy, you know, I know that I'm going to keep working hard and God's got me, and I'm gonna, you know, my blessings are on its way to me. I just got to keep and just be waiting and be positive with it. And instead of being envious, being like, you know what, I'm glad that, you know what, maybe that cousin of yours got a bigger house, but they're struggling trying to have children. And maybe they're just going to buy that big house in hopes that one day they can fill it. Or maybe, you know, that person who did get the weight loss surgery, you know, they were you know, on the road to, you know, extreme health issues with hypertension and diabetes, and it was either lose this weight or nothing else. And they had no other way about going it, and it was their health or nothing, and they had to do that. Whereas you only have maybe 10, 15 pounds to lose, and it's just really a matter of just, you know, quitting the midnight snacks. You never know. You never know where someone is. But because your standards are so low for yourself that your life isn't where you want it to be, you're mad that everybody else is getting what you want, when it's not their fault. You just gotta pick yourself up and keep going, because life isn't always about what we want. We get what we get, and we don't throw a fit. That's what I tell my kids. But you just know that better things are on the horizon, and God has a reason and a time and a place for everything that happens in your life. Whether you're religious or not, God's timing is his own, and know that whatever it is that you need is on its way. We don't always get what we want, but God's got us for what we need, and it's going to be all right. And that's it. Now, if any of these 10 flags has bing in your own head here, it's time to address them. You know, stop allowing it. Start seeing the people. If each time I talked about something and there was a person that pops up into your head, whether it was the same person or multiple people, these are the people that you need to start writing down in your list to either identify, and then what did we talk about? Identify them and then limit our exposure. Easier said than done, because a lot of the time it's family, but it needs to be done. Is it hard? Yeah, it's really hard. I can tell you this from personal experience. It is very, very hard. It's very, very hard. And is it going to cause some strain in some relationships? Yes. Yes, it is. I know this because I'm going through it and I've gone through it. You cannot put anybody above you. Nobody other than your children, of course, but you know what I mean. You can't, nobody is worth more than you. Nobody should be held at a higher standard and allowed to be that way just because that's the way they are, or because you're afraid to rock their boat, or you're afraid that you won't see them, or you're afraid that your parents might get mad, or you're afraid that your husband might get mad. It is what it is. You know, if they love you enough, they need to understand that these are issues. This is a hard issue for you, and you need to love yourself a little bit more, and they need to love you a little bit more to recognize that this is an issue and you have to move on from it. Now, can you address these people and say, hey, look, you know, hey, I really don't like the way you talk to me. I really don't like the way you talk to my kids. I don't like the fact that you think that you can, you know, blow me off, or you know, whatever. I don't like the fact that you think that you can do this or that, you know, whatever it is. And you think you could address them and it might change. I suggest you try. Maybe talk to them or whatever. In my own experience, the people in my life that fit these categories, they don't see anything wrong with who they are and what they are. Really see them as a problem, and they're going to see you as a problem. And if you address them or try to talk to them about this, they may feel attacked. So it might turn into something. You know these people in your life, you know how to address them. But the fact is you need to address the issues, and maybe, like I said, not physically address them, but to start limiting your exposure, limiting the time that you are allowing them to treat you this kind of way, and nipping it right when they kind of get out of pocket. Hey, you know, or if they start getting crazy, oh, okay, I'm gonna let you go, and just, that's it. Don't let them bait you into a fight. Don't let them, because what's going to happen is they're narcissistic and they're manipulative, and they're going to turn the argument into you started it, you were the aggressor, you were picking on them, you call them, trying to get crazy with them. I know all these things because I'm going through it. And sometimes you're not going to get a closure. You're not going to get some closure. You're not going to be able to save these relationships. You just won't be able to see them all the time. And, you know, when you do see them, just, hey, how you doing? And then just keep yourself busy in something else. You don't have to tell everybody. You don't have to tell them, hey, you know what? I know you've been talking to me this kind of way for the last 15 years, but I'm going to tell you today that stops. But it's not your problem to fix them. Your problem is to higher your standards, accept nothing but the best for you, towards you, for you, and keep leveling up. Keep working on yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and know that people are going to hate on you. They're going to be jealous, but you don't care because you're unbothered. And that's the thing, right? It's always about being unbothered. But you have to higher your standards. That's it. Stop being a loser in this game of life. You're a winner, okay? Keep winning. What did that guy say? Winning. That could be you. All right. So I know this was a kind of subject, and I'm sorry if this was kind of hitting home, but I feel like it needed to be said. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's video, and I love you guys so much. Don't forget to check out Green Chef. I will leave a link down below, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, friends.